Yeah.
It's a little bit after 10. We're going to get started this morning. Jordan Goldwire, thanks for your time. Appreciate you joining us. As always with our Zooms, please keep your line muted, and I'll call on you as we move along here. So if you have a question, raise your hand, and we will get started with Steve Wiseman. Steve, go ahead.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, Jordan. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
Hey, you guys played better offensively against Bellarmine than you did against Michigan State. Since then, what have you guys worked on or talked about as a team to make that even better, even more efficient, even more potent?
Yeah, just trying to get better movement on offense and just trying to limit turnovers. And obviously, we haven't shot the ball particularly well, but we just got to do a better job of hitting shots, and I think it'll come.
What do you think is the source of the turnovers so far? What's the main thing?
I think guys are trying to play together, so just guys trying to get the ball to their teammates, but and we just end up turning it over or just not making smart plays. So I think it just comes down to a couple different things, but it's definitely something that we got to cut down.
Thank you.
All right, Brennan Marks, go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for taking the time this morning. You had mentioned, the topic of experience after that Michigan State game, and I think we're seeing it sort of across college basketball that the teams that brought back more guys are starting off the season a little bit easier. Just from your experience and what you went through as a freshman versus what you're seeing the freshmen on this year's team going through, how different is that? And are we making too much of a deal out of experience as far as this early season is going?
Honestly, experience, I think it does play a big role. Like you said, with the older teams in the country that have older players, and you see just how well they mesh. And I just think that the fact that this is the third game, and we didn't have any expedition games, we were scrimmaging against each other. So I mean, I think it just comes down to a lot of things. Just getting comfortable on the court. It's a different environment, so. It's come down to a bunch of things. So, but I think we'll be fine ultimately, and we'll get it together.
Can you tell that guys are already getting more comfortable playing with each other? It seemed like that was one of the reasons for the better ball movement against Bellarmine.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that was the third game we played as a team. So we're used to seeing each other playing against each other, but as a whole team, we hadn't really had that. So it's going to be a process. So I just think we're moving along, taking one game at a time, and I think we'll keep getting better.
Thank you.
All right, Evan Cohen, go ahead.
So sort of similar to that question, but Coach K emphasized after that Michigan State game about how most of his team, were freshmen and never played in a game like that before, and that was a big disadvantage for you guys compared to Michigan State. You specifically have played in a ton of games like that. So what specifically, experience do you have in games sort of like that one against Michigan State, like the one coming up against Illinois, and what are you going to try to instill into your younger teammates?
Yeah, just that we got to come out and get off to a good start. Getting off to slow starts, it doesn't really, it kind of puts us in a hole. So we just got to come out and also just play for 40 minutes. We have spurts where we look good, spurts where we don't look good. So just trying to put together the full game, I think is going to be the main vocal point.
All right, Brian Horace, you're up.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for being with us today. So far, you've been shooting the ball fairly well. Actually, probably one of the best on the team aside from Matthew. But your defense has still been tough. You've been, averaging about 2 steals a game still. Was the offensive side of the ball something that you worked on improving over this summer?
Yeah, for sure. I work on my game a lot, so definitely I would say the offensive side of my game. I know I'll have a little bit more responsibility this year. Like you said, we're a younger team, so just trying to focus more on my shot and getting in the lane more finishes. So definitely I think being more aggressive this year is something that I'm going to have to do.
Thank you.
Jason Evans, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan, I want to start with a quick question. I bet I'm going to get a very fast answer, so I'll have a different follow-up. But you may be aware that the NCAA changed eligibility rules this year, and as a result, guys like you and Patrick, for that matter, could come back and play for another year. Have you thought about that at all? Have you considered whether or not you might return for a 5th year in a Duke Blue Devil uniform?
Yeah, it's definitely been a thought. But right now, I'm just trying to focus on the season, see where I'm at after season.
I figured that your answer would be something like that. I wanted to ask you something very different. Um, in practice, has there been guys in practice who have done things that you expect to see in games that you haven't seen so far? Have you been also surprised in games at players maybe who are doing different things in practice that aren't showing up on the floor?
I would say honestly, like DJ is a great scorer and Jeremy can really score the ball as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jeremy has a big game scoring wise soon, or DJ as well. He obviously had the 24 on the opening night, but just on a consistent basis, I think DJ could score the ball really well. And then I won't be surprised if Mark has a big double game. He's around the rim, so I think it'll be easy for him to get points and rebounds. So yeah, I think that's something that you'll see down the road.
Thanks so much.
Jim Sumner, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan. Good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
We were talking about experience earlier. You're the guy who's been around the program the longest. When you're on the court, the team looks for you for calming influence. Talk about your leadership development, your style. Is it something that comes naturally to you? Something you've had to learn? Is it something that's still evolving?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all those things. Like like you said, I've been around the program for a minute. We've always had guys coming in with leadership roles, so it's been different for me being one of the leaders on the team this year, and so it's something I'm still learning too. But I would say it does come kind of natural just because I'm a competitor, so I haven't always been the most vocal guy, but I've just been working on that. So it's something that's still developing, and I'm learning things as well.
Thanks.
Tom Shanahan, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan, talking about transitioning with the two freshmen that you're sharing the ball with, it was a little bit easier and different last year when you and Trey Jones worked together because you guys had been together a year. Talk about maybe what you took from your experience with Trey and what you're trying to pass on with the freshmen.
Yeah, just really like it starts on the defensive end with us. So just make sure that Jeremy and DJ, they know that they can guard whoever. Just make sure that they up because the defense really starts with us. So just make sure that, and that, how I said, we got to take care of the ball. We got to do a better job of that. So just making it known in their ear that we got to take care of the ball and get the team better shots is something that I've been trying to focus on.
Thank you.
David Thompson, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan. Wanted to ask you a question about Jamin. He's emerged in the past couple games. Just from your perspective, what about his game impresses you? What kind of stands out?
Yeah, since we've been here since August, Jamin, he's probably been one of the guys that stood out to me the most just because he comes every day ready to compete, and he could really score the ball. So I wouldn't say anything that he doing right now is surprising me because I've seen it in practice. So he's a really good player, and I expect it from
him. Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Jordan, I just realized we haven't even asked you about Illinois yet. When you look at them on tape, what do you see? And obviously, Io is a tough matchup. Would you anticipate that you'll be spending a lot of time defending him?
We just had to see. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll probably spend a good amount of time guarding Io. They're a really good team, deep. So it's another Michigan State type game. They'll probably come out and be physical. So it'll be a similar game. We just got to come out ready to play. And everybody got to rebound, and we got to get good shots, and we got to hit shots.
Thanks.
Evan Cohen, you're up.
So you spent a good amount of time talking about your leadership so far. Unless I've missed something, I don't believe Duke has, publicly released captains this year. Usually they do it a couple months before the season. So I'm just wondering, is that something you guys plan on doing eventually? If you release it internally, or what's sort of going on with that?
Honestly, I don't know if we're going to release a statement. I don't need a statement to be released. I mean, it's pretty much known. We have different guys that lead, Wendell, Matt, Joey. So it's a group of us that have taken on that responsibility. And like I said, I've been trying to be more vocal. So I think it's pretty much known. I don't need anything to be released. Just got to go and also lead by example.
Anything else for Jordan? All right, Jordan, appreciate you taking the time this morning. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. Take care.
Thanks, Jordan. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike. Stay dry.